4, 3, 2, 1. Just like Joe Rogan, we are live. I actually do two times.
Live. Joe Rogan.
Yeah, man, Joe Rogan. He's kind of what I aspire to be like in a certain way.
That's cool.
He's very good at getting people to say what's on their mind and just stay engaged. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Because I've had a lot of people, because I listen to Joe Rogan and they hate on Joe, and they're just like, oh yeah, he's not good at anything. He's just kind of he just looks at like UFC. He does the UFC fights and he did Fear Factor. No big deal. I'm like, yeah, but the guy has a lot of interesting people on. And he genuinely like listens and engages with. He might not have any idea what he's talking about half the time, but
well, so I heard somebody make a criticism of him, or not a criticism, just like a observation of him, that he kind of like follows down the rabbit hole and then like asks questions to like understand more. And I think that's why people like him, because they kind of like go on that journey with him.
That's kind of it. Yeah.
Ask questions themselves and look stupid potentially. He's not afraid of like not knowing stuff.
I've never put it in that's kind of what he does. You're right. He's a good guide. Like where I would naturally be asking for questions is where he asks questions. He lets the person talk enough. Because I don't know, there's some streams and whatever, even TV shows out there where people do interviews and they're talking too much over the person. Regardless. Yeah. I got a few questions for you because I'm very excited to see what a lot of different people's takes are on certain things. First question, it's a bit of a red pill question. Well, I figure we'll just get right into it. And then we'll see where people are at, man. I just want to get them out of the way because there's so much I want to talk about. What were we talking about before? So I figured we'll get through the questions and get right to it.
Sure.
First question. Law and order, morality, whatever that concept is, where do you think it comes from? Do you think it comes from human beings forming a state, or does it come from the concept of God or the divine?
I think it definitely comes from concept of God or the divine.
Okay.
For sure. I think the humans have to submit to an authority in order to derive those kinds of things. And so, I mean, the argument could be made for both, right? Which is, you could say that, like, I mean, it's kind of like the United States, right? Like that we decided that God imbued us with these rights and the government is supposed to protect those things. So in some senses, like the government protecting it, like I could see how somebody could derive that and say that that's where we get it from if they want to deny the existence of
God. The concept of nation versus government, I think, is one of the big things comes into play there.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I'm glad you pretty much said that exactly the same way I would. So I'm actually
like
3 for 3 on God
reading
now.
The same stuff,
Dude, yeah, we got to figure out where we have differences because it's getting creepy there.
For sure, yeah.
But no, that's great. 3 for 3 on God now. I've asked you, my friend, and my father today. He said, God, go figure. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for that first status to take the bait. Honestly, what were you gonna say?
What I was gonna say is the thing about it is it's like, you could make the argument for government if you don't believe in God. Now, there's this weird new school of atheists that say that it comes from yourself, right? And a lot of those people would say things like, some of them wouldn't even say that they're atheists. They say they're spiritual, which is like a way to get out of answering the question as to whether or not you believe in God, because they recognize that it's impossible to prove either one. So
I mean, I'm a recovering atheist myself. Like,
same.
You know. We're still. I do think part of like believing in God is you got to look to the left and right. You can't just be people who believe in God by themselves are the ones who do crazy stuff. Like, honestly, I think mass shootings. I think at some point they're just like, they have that little God complex to them, and they're just like, wait, we're not all thinking this. No, man. Sometimes you got to check to make sure everyone else is grounded as you are.
Well, I think that even more innocuous things than that, just like saying really fucked up things to people.
That's true
like,
too. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like wishing bad on people.
Or that's way too common. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like that kind of enables, like it just enables you to see and treat people that way, because if there is nothing telling you that you don't have the right or you do have the right, you know what I mean? And that changes based on your circumstance. You don't actually have to. You don't actually have to hold yourself to an objective standard. And I think that when people do that, it's just skirting that responsibility of having to measure themselves up to something. You know what I'm saying?
My man. Oh, that's it. That's it, right on the head. I mean, is
that a good enough answer?
Dude, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I have nothing to say now. Next question. You freaking nailed it. Right. You nailed it. I'm gonna have to cut that and make a highlight out of it now.
Please do, yeah, please do.
All right, second question. A little less government now. What's the earliest happy memory you have? I'm saying go far back, even if it's like a smell or just a feeling. What's the furthest you can go back?
I'm gonna be honest, probably playing Street Fighter 2 for the first time.
Yeah?
I was like 5, I think, or something like that. 5 or 6.
I know you're big on Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, well, so I'm like wearing a Street Fighter shirt right now.
Are you
fighting games? Like it's just my thing.
Yeah.
I've been doing that since I was a little kid. I mean, I'm not like a pro. Like I'm. You know
you play the new Mortal Kombat, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, on PS4, right?
Evo this week.
Oh, shit.
That's why there's no new episode of my show.
Oh, because you've been streaming?
It's Evo time.
Oh shit! Oh yeah, I saw that. What is Evo? I mean, we can postpone the questions. Like I saw you.
It's a giant fighting game tournament. It happens every year in Vegas. There's actually also one that happens in Japan every year. I'm planning on going to that one next year also.
Oh, that's sick.
And it's just like the biggest congregation of the fighting game community.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not like super good. You know, I'm better than like normal people and stuff. But I go like to hang out with friends that I made in the fighting game community and stuff like that. And
I'm a Mortal Kombat junkie, but the thing is I don't play online at all. And the thing is I did get the new one for PS4, and I think at some point I should probably try to take you on. But I have a feeling you're gonna tear me apart, man. Real quick before we move,
we can learn. I'll teach you some stuff, man. We can get you good.
That's fair. I got it because I got a PS4 and I needed a game that's split screen. And to justify the second controller, you know?
Yeah.
And what better game than a classic fighter like Mortal Kombat?
Dude, yeah. I would recommend Street Fighter 5 too, but
never got into Street Fighter. That's the thing you said Street Fighter was huge to you. Mortal Kombat was huge to me. So
okay. Well, you're a little younger than me, so that makes sense.
That's true. I never played Street Fighter. All right. So third question for you.
All right.
What is the most controversial stance you hold that you wish you could bring up more often in public? Because some people wear it out on their sleeves, you know.
That's super easy. Is that integration was bad for black people ultimately?
Integration, you're saying societally?
Yes.
Oh,
I think that separate but equal made more sense.
Yes. We would
have progressed further if we had our own states.
I've actually, as a half-white person, I also hold that stance, but it's kind of like,
interesting.
It's kind of it's like I don't get a chance to talk about it because it's really not it's not my lane, honestly. It's like, who cares what that guy thinks? But I agree with you. Actually, it's funny. That's what I thought you meant, but not many people have said that.
Well, because they're afraid of sounding racist or quote unquote empowering racists by things like that. But you know what? It's funny. I can't credit myself for this thought. I actually got this from this woman named I think her name is Lena or Sarah Lena.
Sarah Lena.
She's a YouTuber. I don't know if she's really done too much lately, but because I haven't looked at her channel in a while, and she was like getting kind of sparse. But I watched one of her videos, and she said that black people got tricked into not being racist. That was the thesis. That's kind of it, though. I mean, have you? What's your take on Malcolm X? Oh, I love Malcolm X.
But what's your take on Malcolm X as far as like how people look at him? Because I mean, I'm cool with him too. I listen to a lot of his old stuff. I'm like, why does everyone? Because people love to talk about Martin Luther King. They're like, oh yeah, love everybody, the preacher. But then, for some reason, Malcolm X is a little too extreme. He didn't really seem that extreme to me. In fact, he seemed like a smart guy who's talking to dumb people a lot and was trying to like not come off as an asshole as much. Yeah. You know, well, that was the vibe I got from him.
I think Malcolm X is probably one of the most misunderstood characters in modern history because I think that some people either like will say that he's like, you know, he was like the opposite of Martin Luther King, and he was like super extreme.
That's
like
all people know him as, though.
But I honestly, I agree. I don't think that he was very extreme at all, but I do think that he was just kind of like, I mean, a lot of the things that he says are still resonate and are solutions to problems that black people still have now.
Exactly.
Right. So
big time. I mean, he's got there's a video of him. It's one of my favorite videos of him all time. Have you heard him talk about white liberals? It was like back in late 70s, I want to say. Mm-hmm. And I mean, he literally says, he's like,
he was murdered. Wasn't he? What? Wait. When
I think he was murdered.
When did he die?
That's the
when
thing.
When did he die? It was the 60s, I think.
We'll transition. Well, here's the thing. I'm transitioning the video now so that people can follow. When I type in Malcolm X, they can see my Google search right now. Oh, so he died in 65. Holy
65,
shit.
yeah. So
it was a lot longer. It was a lot earlier.
Definitely like 60s. Yeah, he definitely died in this. I had to catch you there.
No, I appreciate it. That's the thing is like well, I'll be honest with you, it's not my history.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
That's why it's not as relevant to me.
I think
but gunshot wound right here.
Oh. I think one of the things that he was shot. I think one of the things that he said that resonated with me the most was I can't remember what show he was on, but he said that once the Negro has learned to be loyal to themselves, our problem is pretty well solved. And I think that that's a really multifaceted statement. But one of the things that I take from it, and a lot of people have said this, is like black people, we have just all we've wanted forever is to just be accepted by white people. Mm-hmm. And it's like, why? Why can't we be accepted by accept ourselves and build ourselves? Like what? Why do we need to be accepted?
You know who's modern day talking about that a lot? Is Killer Mike. He actually did a.
Oh yeah.
Do you follow Killer Mike?
Not.
He's
not
Atlanta.
Really,
I know you're West Coast. He's East Coast.
So actually, you know, it's funny. I have family. I have family in Georgia. I have family in Atlanta. I'm actually from New Jersey.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah. But I've lived in California for about 10 years.
Okay.
But I think didn't Killer Mike do he did.
He just did a new series
like a documentary
recently.
or Netflix series or something where he was like cucking little like black or white kids, telling them that like not to speak up because of white privilege or something.
Yeah, that was part of it. Well, I think the best one, I watched the series, I forget what it's called. Honestly, I could look it up now, but the whole point is one of the episodes he actually spent, was it a week or it was like a couple days, I think it was a full week, only using products that were made by black businesses. As like
Yeah.
And he had a really hard time doing it. And he was saying, he's like, if we were self-sufficient, and he said the point is self-sufficient in the fact that he's like, if you can make sure your dollar stays within the Negro community, is what he kept saying. If you can keep that if your dollar stays within the community. And he said back in the day, like way back, 80s, he's saying, like 1880s. He's like, your dollar stayed in the community. Now he's like, it's gone. It's gone. Right. It's going to everyone else.
It was like that up until like the 50s or 60s.
Exactly.
Up until like the Equal Opportunity Act or whatever, until Lyndon B. Johnson.
Well, even before the Civil Rights era, though, it was the separation, like you were saying, it was there. You know, it wasn't until everyone's like, we need to hybridize, we need to mix and match, we need to have everyone.
Well, the reasons for that was because there was a clear economic slant, but what people didn't understand is that you could just kind of siphon that, right, and figure out ways to use the rules to benefit you.
Well, and then there's the whole cultural side of things too, is the fact that, let's be honest, black music sells, whatever you want to call it.
That's true.
Because why did Elvis do so well? Why did if you really want to get into the culture, I mean, I didn't want to get into the racial side of things. But
No, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. And why aren't more black people being executives and producing shit? And why are we just the talent? And why are we screwing ourselves out of like getting knowledge so that we can know how to get contracts that'll benefit us? Things like that. You know what I mean? Obviously, there's a lot of people that are doing that. Obviously, Killer Mike is one.
Dude, he's one.
Jay-Z and you got some people
J.
like
Cole.
But those people need to educate younger people.
Well, that's one of the reasons I like J. Cole is in a couple of his tracks, he says, he's like, dude, you got to get on your own. You can't have people making money off you making money. You have to do it yourself. You got to cut out all those middlemen. And they miss that. And that's pretty much, to get back to what we were talking about Malcolm X, he's like saying, we can create our own community where we're self-reliant. We can keep the money within ourselves. And then, like you said, issues are gone. The moment you realize you can do that. And people forget that. It's not even just a black thing, too. You know, I saw, when I was in Chicago, I saw huge amounts of Mexican population. But the thing is, their family values, they're very different in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
what I was going to, I mean, the thing about it is, it's a lot of people, they hear a statement like that. And again, they get upset because they don't want to be racist or something.
Right.
And the thing about it is, it's like, it's not saying that like you can't talk to white people. Right?
No, it's not the point at all.
Like, is like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure you would see in a segregated United States, I'm sure you would see plenty of white girls hopping over the border.
Yes, they would be sneaking. If it was more than just a national boundary, if you went down the state boundaries and the county boundaries, like if walls went up everywhere, yeah, there'd be a lot of people having embarrassing checkpoints.
Right. I mean, I don't think it's a realistic goal now based on what has happened. You know what I mean, over the past 50, 60 years.
I think the biggest point is it's just like people need to understand that like having a state of mind ahead of where we're at in reality, like being, like you said, postmodernist, thinking that everything's already resolved. You can't be there. We're not there yet. But also, we can't have the people dragging behind like, yeah, and we should kill them too. It's like, whoa, man, separate. But no harm done to people. Calm down.
Yeah. I mean,
there's a middle ground.
That's a pretty controversial. I actually thought of another one though that I actually do want to mention.
What's that?
That I have that is kind of like born of this thought.
Okay.
Is that so people this is gonna get me in hot water with black people.
Go for it.
All right, fuck it. Is that slavery wasn't the worst thing in the world to happen to black people? Pulling us out.
Boy, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Let me hear me out, man.
You got takes any hotter? I'm gonna have to turn you off for a minute. I'm gonna have to mute you. Go ahead.
Now, this is. I don't want to get I mean, obviously atrocities happened. People died. All that stuff. People were treated subhuman, and that's really fucked up, right? But there's nothing to say, like, all right, think about what Akon is. Do you know what Akon is doing in Africa right now?
Oh, dude, I talk about Akon all the time.
Right, so he's doing the...
Dude, I love his
bringing electricity to Africa.
Yeah.
Right?
And water, electricity and water.
Yeah, it's 2019, and Akon has to do that, right?
Right.
So think about what would have happened to my ass if my fucking ancestors were not pulled over. Potentially, right? Like, I could still not have electricity and water in 2019.
Akon is fucking taking the lemons of slavery and turning into smack that money. He's taking smack that money and
awesome.
he's creating electricity and water and also educating the population.
On how to sustain it. Yeah, exactly.
And I think it's hilarious that, like you said, who knows if that would have happened without slavery, but on an even funnier contrast to me is this dude made all this money to be affording all this stuff off of songs like Smack That, Out on the Floor, Smack That, Give Me Some More. Like, I can't even sing as high pitch as him, but like...
I still will kill, and I don't want to, nigga, but I will if I got to kill.
I'm glad I have a musician on my hands because I can't sing, but that's it, dude. He got a bunch of people to get all, hopped up, and he's like, all right, thanks for the money. Yeah. I'm going back to Africa later.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's because he's from there, dude.
Yeah.
Well, he's from Senegal, and he grew up in New Jersey, actually.
Oh, did he?
And,
okay.
Yeah, and actually not too
Shout
far
out to
from where I'm from.
Serge Ibaka, also from Senegal.
What's that?
Serge Ibaka, one of my favorite basketball players from Senegal, too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
No, so what happened was he would go back there, and his grandma still lived there, and he would be like, Grandma, you don't got electricity, like, you should come to the United States. And she's like, nah, fuck that. You know what I mean?
Fuck the United States.
And so he's like, all right, well, I'm going to bring this shit to you.
Yeah.
And that's, like, what happened.
That's awesome.
Which is crazy, you know what I mean? That's super cool. But, but you seriously, it's like, you think about that, like, what are the odds of, like, I don't know, there's a lot of places like that in Africa, and he even talks about that. There's a lot of places like that in Africa that don't have electricity. All the cities do, right? But once you get into, like, rural areas, there's a lot of people that live there with no electricity and shit like that.
I was born in Venezuela. We don't have electricity now. We had it and we gave it back.
There you go.
We had it. We were like, oh wait, let's try socialism. Oh wait, no, let's give back electricity and medicine.
Born in Venezuela?
I was born there. Yeah.
So do you get like do you get like super invested when people try to like debunk Venezuela?
What do you mean debunk Venezuela though? Because
like you just said, socialism happened, and then everyone's like,
it's not social. Here's the thing, though. It's funny because it wasn't even really socialism. It was more just the idea of socialism, but it was always just crony freaking dictatorship, authoritarianism.
But isn't that always what socialism?
But that's what and then that's my follow up to it is I don't think there is a pure version of socialism.
Well, there isn't. It's because humans are imperfect and we need checks and balances. And if you have a system that fucking completely avoids that and throws it away, i.e. a subjective idea of morality and all that
and
shit,
I think Venezuela only proves one other thing, though. It's that socialism can only be taken by the point of a spear, the tip of a gun, the tip of a spear point, you have to use force to enact socialism because it's not natural. People won't do it. And that's exactly... Venezuela only became socialist because, all right, I was born in 92. 91, there was a military coup while my father was living there to try to take over the government, and it failed. But in 93, the guy who took over the regime, the socialist guy, Hugo Chavez, he took over in a presidency that year. He was technically voted in. But it's the same guy who was a general who tried to take over the government through force. And then he was voted in.
Oh, wow.
But the thing is, he
Isn't that what happened in Iran, too?
Maybe. No, Iran is
Iraq,
Iraq, I don't know that as well. So, all I knew is that in Iraq, Saddam was just... He had everyone under his thumb. He was a mob boss, is the way I understand it.
Yeah.
But Iran is even different because the CIA got involved in that shit. But let's get back to the questions because we're talking about Iran and Iraq. Sorry.
Talking about a lot of. I was gonna say the same could be argued of capitalism though, that it's not natural. And
that's true too.
The government, the way that our system works too, is also by threat of force.
That's also another point. Yeah, I
don't think that capitalism is a natural state either. I think that we need to. Actually, I've heard arguments to the contrary that socialism or being benevolent in that way is actually the more natural inclination. And what we do is we force ourselves to not do that in an unnatural manner in order to conserve resources because it's not practical in application to do so.
Yes. Actually, that sums up exactly my point of view. Socialist, and actually, I think this is a quote I took from someone else probably smarter than me, but this is my stance. I don't remember who it was that said this anymore, but I'm socialist with I'm a capitalist at work. I'm a communist with my friends. I'm a socialist with my family. I'm socialist with my friends, and I'm a dictator with my family. He broke it down. He's like, I'm a capitalist at work, and he broke it down. He's like, I'm communist with strangers, socialist with my friends, and I'm a dictator in my household.
Dictator in my household. Was that guy called a misogynist? Probably.
I don't care. People? Good for him.
I know.
The thing is,
getting called a misogynist is a badge of honor.
I do too. I'm a shitty misogynist. I'm working on it because the thing is, I aspire to have a woman who can just handle my level of misogyny. You know what I mean? I want to get a punch on the shoulder for the rest of my life.
Oh,
that's my goal. I want to be, I want to be right on the cusp. So
I wouldn't go. So this is where we're different. So I wouldn't go as far as you on that. My thing is it's an irony because really what it is I'm not really a misogynist. I just tell women the truth, and that's a problem for them.
Yeah, no,
they don't like that.
Big time.
I'm learning not.
Well, I double down on shit. That's my thing. That's my MO. So when they say really do you hate women? I'm like maybe. What do you mean?
What do you mean? I definitely don't. I love women, but I tell them the truth, and that is something that they fucking can't stand.
Well, here's the thing: is even. I love finding the truth too, but one thing I love almost more sometimes than showing people the truth is leading them down something that is irrational but possible. I like taking people down rabbit holes that I know don't exist, but it's let's see where this goes. Let's see women hate that.
So you're the white rabbit.
I love being the white rabbit, man. I love being that glitch, that double take, that. Wait, why they say that? Why they do that?
You're the glitch of the Matrix, the black cat running by.
Oh, dude, I literally
the black cat and the white rabbit at the same time.
I catch myself. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're halfway, so let's finish this, and then we don't have to keep coming back to anything. We'll just go with the natural flow. 4. Post-apocalyptic go-to item. You have one thing you can grab. There's a societal collapse, something. One thing you can grab and make sure you always have. What are you taking?
My gun.
What gun?
That's easy as fuck. Oh, I have a handgun.
Well, I'm saying it doesn't even need to be yours. Let's say you can just it doesn't even have to be you can say samurai sword, something you don't own. Your gun? Okay. Yeah. Familiarity?
Yeah.
Well, and what do you have? Handgun?
Yeah, you got a handgun. It's a 19.
1911?
Yeah.
45 or 9?
9.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like the 1911. I don't know. Have you shot a 45 of the 1911?
Yeah, I have. I shot a 45 with the 19. Was it the 1711 and the 1911?
17.
And then I shot revolvers. I haven't done rifles yet.
Okay. Like rifles at all?
Like rifles? No, I've never done a rifle. Never shot a rifle.
I grew up in Ohio. I shot a rifle before I fired a pistol.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but mostly I started off on like 22s. So.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
But 22 ammunition so cheap. You can go shooting for a whole day, and it'd be like 1 hour worth of 9mm shooting.
Well, that's what the when I took my handgun safety course thing, the guy was like, "You should just get a 22 because it's cheaper. You're gonna shoot a 9, and it's like, that's $1. That's $1."
Right.
You know,
it's so much more cheaper for a 22.
I have like a ammo case. I'm good.
Yeah. You're stocked up.
Well, because you know why? Because in California, I'll tell you why. In California, they enacted a law.
I heard. That's why I was curious.
That makes it so it's like 10-day waiting period just to buy bullets. Which is fucking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then we had a shooting in Gilroy, so it looks like that didn't really make any fucking difference.
No, gun control is something we could really get into, but I'm glad to hear you love your 1911 9mm. As of right now, I'm actually looking at trying to learn how to shoot a bow. I don't have one right now.
Oh, yeah? Oh,
but you know how dope it would be to be good with a bow? Like I'm saying like to be able to hunt with a bow, just like no ammunition at all, just keep your arrows and, don't lose them. Do that forever, man. That sounds sick to me. Not only that, it's like so many people have gotten good with a bow over the course of mankind. It's like we've only been shooting guns for the last couple hundred years.
Yeah. But was the first gun invented? What was the puckle gun?
Puckle
what was
gun?
That? Like 1800s?
Yeah, it's 1800s, but in 1700s they had I think the first was like 1600s. Like hand cannons were
I mean, I don't know. Weren't the Chinese doing
the Chinese
that shit
were
for
doing
a while one time?
Well, Chinese were getting into cannons in the like 1200s, I think.
Yeah, those guys were fucking crazy, man.
Well, there's some dudes back in the day, like the Ottomans. Dude, they had like hand mortars they were carrying around, like pretty much like hand cauldrons. Yeah. They're just packing in a big old. They're just like, oh shit! How many Ottomans you think died firing guns that were way too big?
Oh yeah.
They're just like, how much powder can we stick in this thing? Let's see. Blew themselves.
Oh yeah, there was people dying left and right testing those fucking things.
Oh yeah, and you know who they were? To go back to misogyny, men. Because I'm also, this isn't even hating on women. This isn't, like, I have equal contempt for men as well. We are so stupid. Like, women are so smart. They don't do dumb shit like we do.
Yeah, but you know what? No. Because without those experiments and the dumb shit, we would not have advanced forward as a civilization.
Oh, I'm with it. But
not
women,
even a little bit.
Women were the ones, because they can sexually mate with the men they choose, they made sure those men had kids, and the ones that were blowing themselves up never got the kids.
Well, that's not
or some
literally
did.
True, right?
Not literally true.
I think that, like, yeah. So without those things to advance society forward,
yes.
Like, I mean, women are going to, they're going to be with guys that have ambition and things like that, obviously too.
Right.
So there are going to be guys that are going to blow themselves up, but they'd likely get laid and probably impregnate at least one chick before they.
Well, yeah, I was talking more generalized. Yeah. I'm sure a few of them get lucky and die. And then have a gene, but I'm saying over the greater amount, it was the royalty who had the concubines. That's one thing I look into all the time, is that some people don't realize how much like they might have a little bit of royal DNA in them, because dude, royalty back in the days, they were just left and right, man. Like I think they said Genghis Khan alone, he's responsible for like so much human genetic variation or something.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Like, there's white supremacists. They're like, why the hell do I have 12% Mongol DNA? It's like, congratulations, Genghis Khan got somebody in your family.
I always like say that to people. It's like we're all related to that motherfucker. So
but they're saying like no man in history. That's why I wanted to hit your Hotep Khan name. By the way. Your boy Genghis Khan, man, he is, they said, probably one of the most alpha males of all time, in the sense that he is responsible for the most genetic imprint.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's one way. That's one way to count alpha status. The reason why actually I use that, I used Khan. There's a couple of reasons. A, gamer. So there's the Mortal Kombat
Shao Kahn,
right? There's like Shao Kahn and all that kind of stuff. But Khans are military generals, right? And so like I kind of like I've been told before that I have a military mentality when it comes to like things like my band and stuff. So I've been kind of, you saw I was like messing around with like Hotep Hitler and stuff.
Yep.
Actually, the funny thing about that,
I love
so
Hotep
I'll say
Hitler.
this why on stream, on live, why I don't have that anymore.
Okay.
So I was like messing around with it because I just thought it was I thought it was kind of funny to trigger people.
Yes.
Just also because of the stuff that we were talking about, like, on my show, it's like there were things about, that guy that were not necessarily the worst ideas. But so I always also thought that was like a really interesting thing to kind of like try to pull out of people and have that conversation. But I changed it because Shakira Soul, do you know her?
I've seen her before, yeah.
Okay, so Shakira Soul, she started following me, and at some point she messaged me, and I have the receipts. This is real. This is a blue check marked right winger, right? Beautiful black woman, by the way.
I've seen her before. Is it spelled differently? Like, I can't even find her because I'm trying to pull her up right now.
Shakira
Soal.
Sharika. Sorry, I said her name wrong. I'm sorry.
Shakira, you're hitting that Colombian angle.
I fucked that up. Yeah, I fucked that up.
Trying to steal our culture, bro.
I'm live and I fucked that up. My bad. My bad, sis. My bad.
I'm just messing with you.
Sharika Soul. My bad.
I got her pulled up right now.
Yeah. So she messaged me and told me that I had to take Hitler out of my name because she retweeted something that I tweeted and then took the tweet back and then messaged me and was like, I have receipts, man, for real. This is real. I'm not fucking making this up.
I believe it. I believe you 100%, brother.
She fucking messaged me.
Well, I'm gonna craft.
All right, got it.
I'm crafting a tweet back to her right now.
Yes. I swear to God, she goes, you got to take Hitler out of your name, otherwise I can't retweet you. And I was like, why? And she's like, a lot of conservatives are Jewish, and this is like really like this is like my biggest audience, like all this stuff.
No,
I swear to God.
No.
And I was like, and I started being like, wait, for real? And then I was like, yo, I've been following you for mad long, because I saw her on Dave Rubin,
right,
like, years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, that woman's fine as fuck, and she's talking shit I like. That's what's up. I'm gonna follow her on Twitter.
I used to follow her at one point, but she must have said something dumb that I didn't like because I don't follow her now.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, she, people are hypocrites, but so she says you gotta take Hitler out of your name. So I was like, all right, fine. Well, hey, now that I got your attention, you want to be on my podcast? And she goes, oh, I'm not doing. No, she goes, well, I can't if you have that in your name.
Oh.
And I was like, all right, well, what if I change it to Genghis Khan? And she goes, she doesn't say anything. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna change it. So I changed it to Hotep Genghis Khan.
Yeah. I remember when you had Hotep Genghis Khan.
Right, and I was like, because that's the closest thing I could go. You know what I mean? That's the closest to that kind of those ideas and mentality that I could go to, without like crossing that line, I suppose. Right?
Oh, dude, I'm all about Genghis Khan.
Right.
I love that. Yeah. No, you're in the promised land. You're better off as Hotep Khan than Hotep Hitler.
For sure. No, for sure. I agree. I mean, I understand that, like, it's kind of playing with fire and stuff. But the thing was, she goes.
Not to mention, right now, just so you know, on the stream, I have your picture of Hotep Khan pulled up.
Oh, tight. That's what's up.
That's what's on the screen. The big old Shao Kahn axe over your shoulder.
Drawn by Matt A. Bear. Get him to do your avatars, because he's real
Shout
good.
out. Link is currently not in the description, but remind me later. I'll add it to the description.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, she goes, all right, fine. I was like, I changed it. I was like, so she goes, okay, cool. I was like, can I get my retweet back? What's up?
Oh, and she unretweeted it?
Yeah. No, then the next day,
she
was like
worse.
on Twitter for the whole day.
Oh, God.
And then I hit her back, and I was like, yo, why'd you unfollow me, sis? What's up? Like, why you lying to me? You know what I mean?
Well, I'm glad I unfollowed. I'm glad I unfollowed Sharika.
But, so, I mean, whatever. Like, that's fine. No bad blood or whatever. But, like, I'm just like, yo, she could have at least, like, kept her word on that shit like I did.
She openly said she's catering to the small hats. That's
right. Isn't that crazy?
That's... I got a friend of mine who's on yesterday.
I got receipts, man. I got fucking receipts. Wait, what's that?
I got a friend of mine yesterday who would love to chat you up about the investment of the small hats on the right-wing community.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll just leave it at that. I'll just leave it. Mr. John Doe, he's an expert in that domain. So, 2 more questions, we're done, and then we'll get into whatever else we get into. We got, what is one simple lesson that you wish everyone in the world had to solve, had to resolve before they, let's say, hit 18? Because this is the second time I'm asking this question.
What important issue that everyone has to resolve?
Like a life lesson you had to resolve by 18.
Oh.
I didn't. Last time I asked, I didn't put an age limit on it, but I thought better of it just now.
That I had to resolve.
Everyone in the world. You get to say everyone in the world has to learn this lesson.
Probably to get comfortable with failure. That's probably, yeah. I mean, you're going to do that a lot.
You wish more people were comfortable with the idea of failure.
Yeah, I mean, I suggest hallucinogens to help with that.
Yes, I second that.
And that's all I'm going to say.
I think that's as far as either of us want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree with you there. Failure definitely helps, and it grounds you. It grounds you into where your talents do lie. If you're actually good at something, and you don't have failure, great, you're going to have success. But to quote Wayne Gretzky through Michael Scott, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah, it's true.
Speaking of, I'm glad we did this podcast because, we've been talking about this for a while, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's why I was like, no, we got to do this. I mean, I think that getting comfortable with failure and also just getting comfortable with the repercussions too. Like
yes.
What, and understanding what the repercussions are and understanding, I mean, this isn't really a life lesson, but I think that understanding social dynamics too is super fucking important.
Social dynamics kind of broad topic. Something you mean about social dynamics in particular, or
yeah, like how people will react to your failures and successes, right?
Okay.
Right. So in that regard, there are people that'll come around when you're succeeding and then they'll disappear when you're perceived to be failing or perceived to have fallen off some sort of
there's
reservation.
An ebb and flow, and if you're not paying attention to your own ripples, you won't see it coming. Is that fair?
Well, and the other ripples of others, right?
Right. Yeah. We're all just we're all just making ripples on a lake, man. Some people are splashing, and some people aren't making much of a ruckus.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you have to be prepared to it's consequences are important, right? And understanding what is gonna happen. Like we were just talking about, it's there's things. Why I changed Hotep Hitler, right?
Yeah.
Because for real, that is I get that it's to me it's kind of funny. But and then whatever, Sharika, you know what I mean? You didn't retweet me, whatever. But you're right. In some senses, is that's playing with fire.
The thing is, at the end of the day, I think you should be fine with being Hotep Hitler, but I just think the world's not ready yet. The world's not ready for Hotep Hitler. And this is me on my podcast saying, rest in peace, Hotep Hitler.
Yeah.
I hope you can come back from the grave one day.
Somebody's going to have to take that up. One of these young guys.
What's that? Oh, someone else is going to take the mantle of Hotep Hitler?
Yeah, I think that'll probably
okay.
happen.
Will you have a knighting ceremony bestowing them with the title?
It depends on where I go.
Okay. Fair enough.
If Hotep Khan goes enough places, maybe.
There you go. That's fair enough.
I have a lot of names, so I could be a lot of places.
Well, initially, when I did my first YouTube, you know what my moniker was?
What's that?
The Gray Jedi.
Oh, the Gray Jedi?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I don't know how big in Star Wars you're at, but
I used to be a huge Star Wars head, man, but The Force Awakens kind of just killed it.
Oh, dude, don't even. That's not what I'm talking about.
I'm
talking about the expanded universe fan fiction books, bro.
Oh, for sure, Thrawn and shit,
yeah, Thrawn, Revan.
What's the other?
The Old Republic
trilogy that I liked.
The Old Republic Bane.
No,
I don't know. There's a
what
few.
Was the one with was it Thrawn with the Jason and Jaina solo?
Oh, that was a whole nother one.
Another one.
I didn't get into that. That was the Skywalker. That was after That was
so that's the stuff that I know.
Okay, I didn't get into that one. Like, I'm aware of it, like Jay Solo and how Jada, Jada or whatever. Like Luke married and like had kids. Yeah,
it's like Han and Leia's twins.
And then like Luke turned to the dark side, and
Luke
there's a bunch
to the
of
dark
stuff.
Side and becomes emperor or whatever.
Yeah, there's like this whole other thing that happened with Star Wars, and then the thing is like obviously Disney bought it and completely wrote over it. But I'm more about the Old Republic, which is what happened like way before.
Oh, like the game?
Well, the game started, but the guy who wrote the game also wrote books about it.
Got it.
Because he's one of the guys. Yeah, he's actually. As soon as I realized it was a really dope story, I was like, okay, who writes this? And I realized it was the same guy.
Oh shit. Okay.
His name's Drew Karpathian. Really cool guy. He worked for BioWare. He also worked on the Mass Effect games. If you like Mass Effect.
Oh, tight. Okay. I never played those. Actually, I think Knights of the Old Republic. Yeah. Honestly, my story with that game was I played like 50 hours or something like that.
Right.
And then my file got corrupted, and I never played a game like that ever again.
You didn't finish it?
I never played a game like that ever again.
Oh, that's rough.
And I didn't finish it. No.
Well,
I got really disheartened. I actually that was the last RPG I played, and I'm starting to play. I actually just picked up my first RPG, like genuinely in like since then.
What do you consider RPG 4. Then?
Well, like a JRPG. So like.
Okay.
I'm playing Persona 4 right now, but like, Mass Effect and Knights of the Republic are RPGs also for sure.
Right. Those okay. Definitely. I mean, would you consider God of War an RPG?
No.
Okay.
Like the original God of War? No.
Well, I played the new one. I just played the new one recently.
No, that's an action adventure game with RPG elements.
That's what I thought. Because to me, it's just an action game, but it had a thick story. Because RPG, do you think you have to have a certain element of control over the story?
Yeah.
Okay, I agree too.
Yeah, and also the characters that so like in that sense, like Marvel Ultimate Alliance is more of an RPG than God of War.
Yes, technically, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's like also an action game.
Yes. Gosh, I haven't played that in a long time. But yeah.
I just beat the newest one actually over the weekend.
Did that come out already?
Mm-hmm. Came out like 2 weeks ago or something.
Dude, I've been so unplugged from gaming. The only gaming I have been doing lately has been strategy games on my PC.
Oh, yeah. What are you playing? Command and Conquer or something?
No. I've been playing mostly Total War.
Oh, shit.
So either
I'm flashing the camera. I'm like flashing.
It's all good, man. I'll show a little skin myself. Show my chain.
Got any middle-aged white women? Like, what's his name? Hotep Jesus is talking about.
Middle-aged white women?
Middle-aged white women.
Where are they at?
That dude's crazy.
Dude, I'll tell you, I was just working a bartending job, and middle-aged white women, that's the job that Hotep needs to have. If he works at a bar in a Midwest town, middle-aged white women be all over him.
Dude, middle-aged white women be everywhere, man. I know.
That's true.
I haven't messed around in that regard in quite some time, but
it's funny.
Everywhere.
People talk about how much they love. Well, to people who aren't aware, we're talking about Hotep Jesus. Is he technically your superior in the chain of Hoteps, or
I don't know,
would you consider yourself on equal footing?
No, I mean, like he's very accomplished. You know what I mean? He's got a big following and all that stuff. You know, he's sort of like him and Uncle Hotep and like those dudes is kind of like inspiring me. You know, in some degree.
You need to make a Hotep connection one day.
I mean, he's retweeted me before and stuff.
No, I'm saying
that's pretty good.
You gotta have him on. You gotta have him on your podcast, man.
Oh yeah, maybe I'm trying to grow my following too, and trying to reach out. I reached out to some people. You got to have a certain level of influence.
Oh no, I'm with you.
I totally get that.
I'm just trying to hype you up, being like you can get there. That's it.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that.
That's
man.
it. You gotta, because I gotta say, he said he didn't think he was ever gonna be on Rogan. As above, so below. If he's willing to, if Rogan's willing to put him on, there's a shot you could have him on your show.
Yeah. I mean, you never know.
I'm looking. Owen Benjamin's one of the guys I follow, and I'm looking. I don't necessarily want him on my show, but I want more people to follow his show to be listening in here, because he gets in a lot of controversial stuff, and I actually want to like unpackage that, because he says some stuff that is like the whole idea of saying small hats. That's not me. That's him.
Small hats.
Because it's one of the big things. Is like you got to avoid saying things that trigger the algorithm. So when you say small hat, Twitter has no idea what you're saying. But you type in Jew, like the voice recognition, YouTube just went, wait, what? What did he just say? Like YouTube's flagging this video now that I just said it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, what's that quote? Who says that thing? It's like you can tell who's in power by who you're not allowed to talk about.
100%, 100%. And the funny thing, this is another Owen Benjamin thing that he actually says. He's like, I don't actually think the Jews are in control of everything. I don't believe that.
I don't think they are either.
But he's like, but as a comedian, because he's a professional comedian, that's his like job. That's how he pays his bills. He does shows. He's like, as a comedian, I want to know why I can't make jokes about these people. What makes them all high and mighty that when I have a great joke, slamming material, I got to just be like, no, hands off.
I mean, no, I don't think that's necessarily true. I think you can. I mean, I think anti-Semitism does.
Well, here's the thing is he's done some of that stuff, and he's actually can't do shows anymore now.
Well, so it depends on how you're perceived, right? Like somebody who is Jewish or ethnically Jewish or has the last name like Silver or Goldbaum or something can make an anti-Semitic joke and it's fine, right? Even if they're not a practicing Jew at all.
He's part German.
So, yeah, well, I didn't know that, so I don't think that matters.
That's the point. Is it shouldn't matter. Like you said, if you're
say whatever the fuck he's saying,
if you're Philip Rosenstein, it shouldn't matter. Versus if you're, Heinrich.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean? People will test me and they'll be like, well, what if some white guy goes up there and says nigger? And I'd be like, well, if the joke was funny, I'd laugh.
Fair. I mean, okay. Actually, this is a question I did.
It could be a bad joke.
This is a question I meant to ask you, though. Is what is your take on strangers using the N-word?
All right, I'll tell you a story. I got a story for you there.
Fair.
So I'm a member of an Italian club here in California, where I live.
Italian? Are you part Italian?
No.
Okay.
I mean, not by blood. I have some interweavings with Italians in my family.
Okay.
Yeah. And a lot of. I mean, I grew up in. New
Jersey. I've been to an Italian club. I'm not Italian either.
Right. So I'm a member of this one.
Okay.
So this is. I mean, I grew up in New Jersey too. So it's like I grew up around a lot of Jewish people and a lot of Italians. Right. I know a lot about both of those cultures and worlds. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so I'm a member of this club, and I went to a member meeting. I was talking to this guy Nick.
Okay.
And I was talking to this guy Nick, and this other guy, Roger, I believe his name is.
Okay.
And he, and I'll keep it at first names, right, to be kind of anonymous, but whatever. So,
dude, don't worry. I've said things openly about people who probably watch these streams. So,
I mean, nobody watches me. No. Whatever. So fucking. Anyway, this guy, these two guys are talking, and this Nick, he says we're talking about comedy, right, and talking about use of words and things like that, and he goes, "Yo, you know what I think would be crazy?" And I'm like, I don't know. These both guys are white. Mm-hmm. Nick goes, if a white guy did blackface and then did Richard Pryor's That Nigger's Crazy, and I was just like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if that's a good idea. He's like, yeah, he would get lambasted, but it would be hilarious.
And that's the thing.
That shit was hilarious.
That's comedy.
Like, you're right.
Comedy is a great unifier. One of my favorite George Carlin quotes is he was actually openly talking about being a comedian. He said, it's the job of comedians to take people outside, crossing their lines of what they feel comfortable thinking about.
Exactly.
But he's also said it's the duty of a good comedian to bring you back safely.
Right. Well, that's what. So Steve Martin says it very succinctly. It's
okay.
Creating comedy is creating tension and then suddenly relieving it.
That's also that's the same idea.
Yeah.
And I think bad comedy is when you can create tension and then you don't relieve it properly. When you have a sour joke, it's just like, ooh,
yeah, exactly. Oh, that didn't feel.
That's cringy.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, totally.
Well, the thing is, on Twitter, I think one of the biggest things. I'm completely changing subjects on you real quick, but we know each other through Twitter, and one of the big things I find is you have some people being literal and some people being 100% joking. And then there's this middle ground of what Twitter is. And it's hilarious because you have some people who are just shit posting while some people are genuinely trying to get the news. It can be like this weird juxtaposition.
I think if you're trying to get the news from Twitter, you're probably starting in the wrong place. But I think that also,
I say that like they're taking it more literally than it's meant to be. Is the point I'm saying?
Well, the thing about it, there's no tone, right? And like the thing about it is, okay, so this is something that I had a problem with online dating with.
Okay.
Is when you are talking to somebody. So when you read, right, for example, you probably have like a narrator voice and you have like assigned voices to characters and things like that in your head. I do that, right? And I think most people do that, whether or not they're conscious of it.
Yes.
When you have a conversation via text with someone you don't know, you're still assigning that voice. You just don't know actually what their voice sounds like. You're assigning it based on what you interpret what they're saying is. And when you have Twitter, that's that times fucking 15,000.
Well, and it's even crazier because you have no idea. Like that person could have been like having road rage while you're like crafting this tweet like with tea and like a nice food, and they're like on their way to work like, fuck you, fuck all this, I hate everything, and you're just like calmly just like crafting a nice little tweet to yourself. Like you have no idea where people are. Some people are just letting out rage. Some people are just having a grand old time. It you know what it reminds me of? Have you seen the Key and Peele sketch where they have the text conversation? And they're like trying to make plans. They're like trying to make plans.
Yeah.
He's like ripping a bong and he's like playing video games. He's like, I'll meet you later. I forget.
Yeah.
But every time he reads the tweet, he's like, I'll see you later. What the hell is that supposed to mean? You know?
Yeah. Well, so the thing about it is that happens in person also. That's not
just
true. Something that just happens via text.
Yeah.
Because people have different meanings for words and things like that.
Yes.
And a lot of times people don't take the time to make sure that they define terms before they continue a discussion. They kind of continue going.
They're not very clear in their speech.
Story in their head.
They're not very clear in their speech.
Right.
Well,
it's more than that too. I think that like sometimes people are clear, but people have different interpretations for what certain things mean and what like, and especially I think that especially happens a lot in conversations between men and women, but I think even between men and men, like if they don't have similar views or ideas of things, right, and they don't take the time, like you've asked me a couple times what I mean by things, right? Mm-hmm. And I think for the most part, we kind of share a similar worldview, so I think we're mostly okay. But
and that's why I don't mind. You've done it a couple times with me, and I've done a couple times with you. Like I'll cross lines that I normally wouldn't cross because I have a feeling you're okay with it.
Yeah.
And here's the difference is I think both of us. I would hope that if at any point I do say anything across the line, I would assume that either you'd get offended, and that's worst case scenario. But best case scenario, you just ask me like, "Hey, Mike, what made you ask that fucked up question?"
Well, no, I mean, I said it earlier today, like where we were talking about the misogyny thing. I was like, there was a point where I was like, I wouldn't even go as far as that. Like,
good example, yeah.
And so that's exactly it. It's like, well, that's a point where we disagree. It's fine, whatever. I'm not gonna be like, fuck you, dude. I'm gonna be like, I just don't agree with that.
Well, and the funny thing is, ultimately we end up agreeing. The difference is we have the same opinion. My persona, my ego is I like to be perceived as a misogynist. Realistically, I'm not though. I hold the same thing you do. It's the whole point. So it's like we have this very similar point of view. So we see things similarly. So when I see like a news article and we can make a joke about it because we both see things eye to eye. But here's the funny thing is, if you and I are ironic or sarcastic about something, they don't understand the fact that we're exchanging a joke, and they think that we could be having a fight, you know?
Right.
And that's why sarcasm can be very dangerous on tone-deaf platforms like social media.
Yeah, definitely.
People get really lost fast. But let me hit you with the last question real quick.
Oh, shit, last question.
Smartest person in the world?
Smartest person in the world.
Or dumbest person in the world? Would you rather be the smartest person in a world full of dumb people or the dumbest person in a world full of smart people?
The second one.
Smartest person in the world?
No, dumbest person in the world.
Full of smart people?
Full of smart people.
Yeah?
Yes, because you can learn as a dumb person, but imparting knowledge to people who are dumb is very difficult, especially when they're ignorant.
Yes.
And they don't recognize that you're doing so, which is most of the time when you're dealing with adults.
At the end of the day, both of them require patience. The question is it patience in yourself or patience in others is the way I look at it. And so you chose chose patience in yourself.
Correct.
I like that.
Yeah, well, because there's no. I mean, I've had to, especially like coloring my experience now. Like, people. I live by. I think I said this on when you were on my show. It's like Bruce Lee has this quote, and it's "Do not correct a fool, for he will hate you. Correct a wise man, for he will appreciate you."
Yes.
And I find that to be the most true thing in the world. Is people, if they're not led to, especially adults, if they're not led to believe that they came up with their answer, if you're the one who's imparting knowledge on them and you're not in a position of authority, for example, you're not a teacher.
Yes. Or you like you said, a position of authority.
Right. If you're not in a position of authority over them, they will take offense to it as a first response.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fucking ridiculous.
Well, I think both of us are proponents against mainstream news, I would assume.
Yeah, definitely.
It's funny that you and I agree on that as well, but there's probably a lot of people that I say things about CNN, I'll mock CNN, and they'll be like, "Wait, why is he doing that? Is that okay now?" Like there's some people like, "Wait, what?"
If people are still trusting CNN, I
walk away.
Like,
I walk away from that real fast.
I can't, like, I at least respect if somebody like reads the New York Times, because at least they're reading.
Yeah.
But if you're going, I mean, like, I don't like the New York Times. I'm subscribed so I can know what the hell's going on. And
I'm with you there. You gotta stay abreast of what they're talking about.
And yeah, if somebody sends me an article, I can read it and stuff. It's like I'm not blocked, which is good.
Yeah.
And like the thing is, it's like what's funny about that is I found. I mean, I subscribed to the New York Times. I've subscribed to the Wall Street Journal also. It's it's not cheap, and I'm thinking like this is why people are underinformed or ill-informed.
Yes.
Because it's expensive to actually like get information.
Yeah.
Like, you have to buy into it. There's a gateway. There's a
barrier. And I think one thing that's been
there.
forming lately is I think the people that have good information or mentalities, even philosophies, the people you want to be getting in constant communication with are tightening up their social circles. I think people are realizing that there's a huge availability of information out there, and the social network you create for yourself is what you're constantly bouncing your ideas off of. You know what I mean? And that some people are getting that way too big of a circle. They're trying to compare themselves to stuff that doesn't matter. And this is where I get into. I do like to talk about mental health. And I think one thing that's burdening a lot of people is you're comparing yourself with people that are in different economies, different markets, different cultures. Yeah. And then you're like, well, I don't have this or that. It's like, do you even want this or that? Do you want to, you're comparing yourself to things that have nothing to do with your life.
Well, I mean, it's a comparison. And I mean, I think you kind of hit on that. It's like, it's not even a fair comparison. And you have to understand that, like, you're not going to judge a fish by its ability to fucking climb a tree. That makes no damn sense.
That's it.
And so like, you have to recognize the situation. But this is all wrapped in, I mean, mental health is obviously a component of it, but also being able to objectively assess your own situation. And a lot of people are not equipped to do so. I think that primarily, that's the problem, is a lot of people have not been equipped to do so. In fact, we've been equipped to do just the opposite, is to blame our extenuating circumstances for everything that goes on around us, instead of taking full responsibility for the fact that, hey, man, if I am unhappy, it's likely due to my own choices. Yes.
Well,
right?
It actually goes back to the philosophy you mentioned before, is the whole segregation concept. I'm sorry, what was the quote you gave? It was the moment...
Oh, when the Negro becomes loyal to themselves, our problem is pretty well solved.
That's it. That's what I'm saying. You look at that, that's looking at as a population demographic level, but if you do that on a personal level as well, talking about mental health, is the moment you stop saying, well, I can't do this because of the people around me, I can't do this because of... The moment you say, I can do this, and I'm the one who's going to solve it...
Yeah. I mean,
what can stop you? What can stop you, And
that's power.
That's it. It's like, I told myself, I was like, oh shit, I like watching these podcasts. I like watching all these podcasts. I'm like, well, what the hell? Why don't I just try doing myself?
Right.
It's like it doesn't need to be a great right away. But so many people they read a book. How many people think I'm gonna try to read a book?
Right.
People cook for themselves, but I know a lot of people aren't very good at cooking. It's like, that's something you can work to get better at just yourself. And like, if you can learn to get good at cooking, you know how much confidence that just gives you right there? You just translate that into literally anywhere else. Just little things like that, man. I think part of like, I'm sorry, you're a couple years older than me?
Yeah, well, I'm 32. I think 32, you're in your 20s, yeah?
Yeah, 27.
Yeah.
27. I thought you were like 30. I thought you were like 30. So, I'll give you a compliment. I thought you were younger.
The Mortal Kombat Street Fighter gap makes sense.
That makes sense now. I thought you were 30.
Perfect sense.
I didn't realize it was a 5-year gap. I thought it was 3-year gap. But I was just saying, people our age, man. Where was I going with people our age? I don't even remember what it was.
I don't know, man. Y'all are getting there.
We're getting there. We're getting there. But
no, I'm still getting there too, man. I'm not anywhere. You know what I've gotten myself to a point where I was
gonna say people our age can't cook.
Yeah,
they can't cook.
Well, not at all. Not even a little bit.
Some people can, but
you gotta be cooking, man. I don't know. I haven't cooked.
It's summertime. I've been grilling. I've only been back home. Like, I was in Florida on vacation. We were cooking. My family, we were cooking on vacation. Like, we went to we had like the kitchen they gave us. We're still making stuff. Like, we went out to eat. But like, since I've been back, I've already grilled 3 times.
That's what's up, man.
Like, it's summertime.
I need to get back into it, dude. I'm spoiled though, because I have a job that feeds me.
Oh yeah. Well, when I was serving in a restaurant,
hella
when
spoiled.
I was bartending, dude, like, I just ate from our kitchen.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have an office job and it's all fancy.
Oh shit.
So it's like, you know what I mean? We get like catered food and stuff.
Every day?
Every fucking day, man.
No shit. Cuz I had an office job in Chicago, and we'd get food from every now and then. They always called them lunch and learns. So like, if you
yeah. We have yeah.
So we would learn more, because I was in legal sales, so we'd learn about. It was actually kind of cool. Like, I liked doing it because I learned about
that
law.
Sounds awesome.
But like, they would give us like really nice Chicago food, but they had a bad choice of deep dish. They would always go Lumanatis. No, that's not the move. Officially,
that's not the move.
Giordano's is the move.
Oh yeah. Well, this is I'm in Silicon Valley, man. So it's like
you were in Silicon Valley. I heard Oakland before.
Yeah, so San Francisco is where I work, which is definitely considered that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's not the valley, right? It's the city, but it's part of it.
Yeah,
part of the culture.
No, and I do have one question to ask you, for being from that area. Yeah. Is there a poo problem?
Is there a poo problem? Yes, there's 100% a poo problem. That is real. It's a real thing.
Okay, because I'm not sure how much of that is fake news.
No, that is real. That is real. There's this poo problem. There's a needle problem. There's a homeless problem. There's all those problems. All those things exist.
Wait, but I thought California is a beautiful, lush place where everyone's dreams in the East can go out west and all their problems will be solved, gold rush and whatnot, no?
It used to be until the damn Democrats got a hold of it. I tell you. No, I'm just kidding.
Gasp!
They've had a hold of it since I was a kid, I guess.
Oh,
but...
yeah. Well,
Schwarzenegger was a Republican.
I was about to say, he was technically Republican, but he didn't flip the state red.
Yeah.
When's the next time? You think it's going to vote Trump in the next election? I'll put it that way.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Trump already won. This is not even a question.
So,
all those people up there tonight have fucking TDS. It's insane.
You legit on that? You think California's gonna go red?
Oh, you think California? No. Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, all right. I was like, that's a hot take. That's
no, definitely not.
Okay. I'm like,
I thought you meant is he going to win the election? Which
yeah. No, I agree. I think he's gonna win the election.
I predicted that he was gonna win in 2016 when he announced, and I bet a kid, and then I got scared because I'm a little bitch, and I stopped fucking. I see. This is why I need to. I've been like trying to like just pay attention to my intuition over the past couple years.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Because I was like, no, oh my God, Hillary might win. But I knew he was gonna fucking win the second he announced, bro. And I have receipts on Facebook from statuses where I bitched out.
That's it. I mean, regret can be one of the most painful memories. But that's the thing, is at least you were on it, man. You knew, like, I was a Bernie bro. We mentioned that last time. I was completely a babe in the woods, man. Yeah. I had no idea.
I liked Bernie Sanders too. I said that last time too, but I just knew that Trump was going to win.
Oh yeah. No, I had no idea Trump was going to win. But I mean, in the end, I'm glad it happened. We mentioned this last time on your stream, but I'm so glad Trump has done what he's done. He's going after the Fed. People don't talk about that enough.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's going after the Fed, but he's also. I mean, it's also just like shaking things up and making fucking people, especially like moderate Democrats, need to fucking just shape up and stop letting the crazies fucking take their party over,
Yeah.
dude.
Well,
You
I
know what
think
I mean?
one of the most genius strokes that Trump did was, well, I mean, it's been a while since I've done a stream, so I'm going to bring this up as a little dated, is the idea of the squad. Is
Oh,
I was talking to my dad about this. I'm like, this is a master stroke because, okay, like you said, the moderate Dems, the Dems who actually want to try to beat Trump, the last
yeah.
people they want in the public spotlight, the squad. So
Right.
what's Trump do?
People like that too.
I know, and what's Trump do? Say, let's talk to the squad. And now he puts them front and center. They get to show how unhinged they are. And Trump's like, that's my competition. Just walks away. Mic drop, walks away.
Did you see the video of Rashida Tlaib? Okay, so by the way, I'm going to preface this with I have actually, and I'm sure you might have noticed this, I've actively avoided news stories about them over the past couple weeks after the whole Trump is racist, we're going against.
Well, so many people getting Ilhan Omar and her freaking marital thing.
What's that?
A lot of people getting Ilhan Omar and her like marital status.
I don't even fucking care. I'm going to tell you why. Those women have no fucking idea what they're doing, and they have not been doing their goddamn job since they got into office.
Nope.
And we're sitting around paying attention to them, gallivanting on the fucking TV, talking about the president is racist because he told you that you need to shut the fuck up about countries that are not the United States and represent the people of your fucking district. This is what you were elected to do, and they're not even doing that. So I'm not paying attention to that bullshit.
Hotep, are you saying you're against foreign wars?
Against foreign wars? Wait, what?
Are you against foreign wars? I thought you said you were right wing.
Wait. Why would I not be against? Wait. How do you get that? Where'd you get that from?
You said,
what did I say that?
You said something about getting out of other countries.
No. They need to go. They need to stop paying attention, like caring about like so much about like what's going on in these other countries.
Oh, what's going on? I thought you meant war. I thought you meant war.
Oh, like no, not war. I mean like the immigration problem where we're having a bunch of people coming from other countries.
You're talking immigration.
It's because they're running from fucking violence and all that stuff. How about you care about the people in your fucking district?
Yeah.
Like, how about you do some fucking work over there and try to figure that out? And dude, honestly, Ayanna Presley is the least annoying of all of them.
Who's that?
But when Ayanna Presley's the black one.
Oh,
she's the least annoying because she's like the least in the press. But when she's up there talking about, I need fucking black people that are trying to be I don't need black people that are not trying to be black voices. I don't need gay people that are not trying to be gay voices. Basically, identity politics or die. I don't give a fuck about anything of your values or anything. You just need to be up here and parrot our talking points about being black.
Yeah.
Like, yo, shut up. Shut up, lady. So after
I've heard. Well, the thing is, I hear that, and I've heard this before, lady. I've heard this before.
Yeah.
You're not new.
Right.
You're a new face, not a new message.
It's insane. And then these fucking white people that are like posting fucking Post-it notes on Ilhan Omar's fucking wall talking about write a note for Ilhan. We stand with you.
Did that happen?
You realize that if this woman got some power, okay, if fucking Ilhan Omar got any more power than she does right now, white people will be the first to go.
Oh
they
yeah.
Don't even fucking understand that.
She's got videos saying that we. Did you see the video she had? She went to the UK on press. Yeah. She had an interview last week. She openly said people of color need to be more afraid of white men.
Right.
I'm like.
So when I say okay, so I did hear that. So I'm going to clarify. When I say I'm ignoring, I'm not commenting and I'm not posting anything about them.
Okay, but you see it.
I'm looking at it, but I'm not gonna like
your eyes open, ears open, mouth closed.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get sucked into that bullshit. But yeah, she did say that.
She did.
Like, and so that's what I'm saying. White people will be the first to go. They're so fucking dumb.
But here's the funny thing is, I want to take this second. I want to take this moment right now to mention how this is where the upside down fake news clown world gets crazy. Because here's the thing: as a rational, red-pilled man, I bring that up to people and they go, "Oh, there's no way that's true."
That's spirit mongering.
But here's the thing. Yeah, well, it's true. It's true. The thing is,
she hates white people. She hates white people.
Well,
I'm like, I don't even like Ilhan Omar.
I would
be safe in Ilhan Omar's America.
I don't want her to 100%. Hate white people. I don't want her to. Like, I don't want this. Like, I'd like her to have just said that to be pandering to a certain demographic. You know?
No, she definitely feels that way.
But well, here's 100%. I'm just saying, trying to be more pragmatic, more grounded, and not jumping to conclusions 100%. Here. I'd like to think that she is simply having a persona, as Alex Jones says. That she is not.
The case, man.
Well, I know. But, like, I'm trying to say, like, from the glass half full optimistic side. And even if that's the case, the problem is she still said that, which means certain people are going to go, ooh, this is my shot. This is my moment. Like you said, it's weird that a lady like her that has the stance she has the power she does. And if she did have any more, what you just said, it would be not a good place. Ilhan Omar's America is not good for black men as well.
I mean, like, well, here's the funny thing about that is they make such a big deal about the fact that she's Muslim, and
yes,
like what's
they
the
just
guy's
don't
name?
get it.
Fuck, God, he's a black congressional representative who was also Muslim. Keith something. I don't know. He was the first Muslim.
I think I've seen. I don't know.
Ellison, is that right?
Keith Ellison. Keith Ellison.
Is that correct?
Let me verify real quick. Keith.
I can't remember Ellison. His name. Now, off the top of my head. God damn it.
There is a man named Keith Ellison, and Ellison was the first American Muslim elected to Congress.
I was right.
In Minnesota, also.
Is that right?
Yeah, Keith Ellison. Good call. And he's also from Minnesota.
97, right? 97.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, nigga! I'm not even looking at your screen. I can't even see your screen.
Wait.
I know my shit.
You said 97?
Is that right?
No.
Or 2007?
2007. I just saw the 7 and said yes.
Damn it.
I was like half reading, half listening, so I just said yes, my bad.
Anyway, Keith Ellison, he was the first Muslim. He never got fucking called out for any of that shit. And that's because he didn't say any dumb shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he was just fucking chilling. And I mean, that being said, I mean, this is like, Ilhan Omar is honestly the real problem. Everybody's upset with fucking AOC because she's dumb.
Well,
but like, and Rashida Tlaib is crazy. Did you see that did you see that video of her like getting like pulled out of some conference or some shit?
Well, did you hear the other thing Rashida Tlaib did? You know, they're trying to pass that $15 minimum wage, which this is changing subjects.
That's
but
so dumb.
She right after they did this, she was trying to push $20 minimum wage.
Yeah, right. What?
She's like,
why not $50?
$50.
Why not $60?
Oh shit.
Seriously, why not $100? See, this is why I don't understand these fucking people when they do this dumb shit, as if they understand the market value for every single fucking piece of labor provided to the United States.
Oh my god.
Why not $20? Well, why stop at 20? Why not fucking 50?
Just the fact that you mentioned that you're cognizant of the idea of there being labor worth different values, you're already showing your understanding of the market a little better.
Better than Rashida Tlaib.
Obviously.
Which is fucking crazy. I don't even have... See, this is the problem. Is that the people who are best suited, and I would not say that I'm even suited, but I understand that I mean, I actually, look, I'm not going to lie. I think Rashida Tlaib probably does understand the economy. She probably does understand that that's not a thing, but she's going to pander to people because she knows that that's what's going to keep her in the fucking news, because there are people who are fucking stupid, which is the majority of the American populace and majority of the world populace, that are going to eat that shit the fuck up.
That's
because
true.
People don't want to do any analysis for them goddamn selves. They just want Rashida Tlaib, somebody in power, to tell them. And that's where you get the idea that everything comes from the government and not God.
Getting back to the first question, my man. Actually, I'm going to take this second just to do a quick shout out for anyone listening, watching. Tomorrow, I'm going to be having Smack Attack, Clint from the Smack Attack podcast. He just messaged me. He said, I missed the stream. I told him we're still live now. So hopefully he'll get on here in a second.
Come hang out.
But 3 o'clock my time, Eastern Standard Time, noon your time tomorrow, we'll be going live.
I'll watch it work.
Throw it on, man. Can you throw audio on in the background?
I have headphones. I can listen to headphones at work and stuff.
But no one says anything if you're just listening to something?
No, man. I have a cushy tech job.
Well, I was in sales, and even in sales, I could listen to podcasts too. So
yeah. I mean, it's like I listen to music. I work on the computer, so it's like.
Yep. I was making sales calls, so I was on a computer all day, so I would just plug in, and when I wasn't making calls, I'd be listening to podcasts myself. So yeah. But dude, I figured we'll wrap it up. You said you got work tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, I can go a little bit longer, you know.
Okay. I just say we'll wrap it up. Let's get into some final points. Did you have any questions for me? I've asked you a ton of questions.
For you?
I want to open it up.
Man,
what do you got?
What do you think about these debates, man? What do you think is going to come out on top in the Democratic?
I already got it. If I had to vote Democrat, how about this? I'm going to redeflect you real quick.
Oh.
Who is your choice for Democratic? If you had to pick, if you had to vote for one person in the Democratic Party, who would it be?
Marianne Williamson, because she's fucking insane.
I love it. Actually,
that woman is fucking insane.
I love her. She is the pure grandma who just like has found her way on stage, is the way I look at it.
I don't understand. Somebody tweeted this earlier, was that they would love to see her run for a local office.
Yeah.
Because I think she would probably win.
Yeah.
She is actually really interesting. She's crazy as fuck, and I don't agree with any of her ideas.
No.
But she is very magnetic in a way. Like, I'm kind of like, you're kind of
well,
like
you
really
mentioned
adorable.
social dynamics. You mentioned social dynamics earlier.
Yeah.
She gets that in a weird way.
Right.
Like you said, she's crazy, but she's well aware.
We need to win with love. We need to win with love. And I was like, wow, Marianne Williamson, this is complete bullshit, but for some reason I believe it coming out of your mouth.
I want to believe in your love platform.
She also looks like she was probably hot back in the day.
She does. Actually, it's funny you mentioned that. I hadn't considered that. She does look like she's got that still cute face of an old lady.
Yeah. She's definitely,
But my girl is still banging Tulsi Gabbard.
That's your girl, dude? That's your gun grabber?
That's my...
That woman's a gun grabber, dude. She hates guns, bro.
Does she?
I don't know. I'm just talking shit on her.
Okay, I was gonna say if she guns. My thing is she's anti-war. She's the only anti-war Democrat. No, she's a former veteran.
Oh, she used to be. Yeah, but didn't she get on the last debate? She kept talking about how she was. She's like, I feel like every question she got asked, she kept talking about how she used to be in the military.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I think she hid behind that, and I definitely held back on my. I didn't watch enough of her at the debate purely because I have a feeling she might have fucked it up and didn't want to. Like, I want to keep that high opinion of her, but she's about the only one out of the to answer. She's the only one I would support. Tulsi Gabbard.
Tulsi?
Yeah.
What about Yang? You're not a Yang guy?
Dude, I'm sorry. I did his retweet for the $1,000 a month thing because I could definitely use that. But
dude, no. Why doesn't he just not fucking tax us?
Well, did you hear what he said? He put on Twitter. He's like, anyone who likes and retweets this, I'm going to show what $1,000 a month will do. I will give $12,000, $1,000 a month to one person of this. I was like, fuck it. I don't agree with your ideology, dude, but I'll play your sweepstakes.
Listen, bro. I think I tweeted at him, and I'm not expecting him to tweet me back, but I'm sure more people have tweeted this. Is Yang Gang? Is why not just tax me less and let me just keep my money instead of taking it and then giving it back to me at the end of the month?
Well, it's because then the government doesn't get to play a shell game. We'll say we'll take the money over here.
Fuck the shell game. You know,
and then now it's back.
This is
we'll take ridiculous. The money you had, the money you made, the money they made, and we'll just all pull it together and then
give it back.
Everyone gets $1,000 now.
Like, dude, come on, man. That makes no sense.
If you don't see that as the most obvious sleight of hand, like, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're doing. Like,
well, I mean, I don't know. I just think that that dude is banking on fucking ignorance with that.
I think he overestimates how smart people are with their money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude,
I mean,
because there's actually been some libertarians who have made fun of Yang in a way that's very practical. Like, I saw some memes that the day Andrew Yang becomes president, and it was like a bunch of people running a strip club. You know what I mean?
Is it gonna be all in ones? Like, come on, man.
It's like, how do you know that everyone's gonna take that $1,000 and invest in a house, invest in education?
No, they're not.
They're not. That's the point.
Well, first of all, I think Yang knows that that's not a fucking possible idea anyway. It's not a thing that would happen.
I think he's just trying to ride a dramatic idea, and he's trying to make a name for himself. Because I tell you what, the man is in business, and a presidential run is always good for business.
Right. Well, he also needs.
Why do you think there's like 40 people in the Democratic heat right now?
Yeah, he also needs to differentiate himself because he's Asian.
Yes. And
this is like, and people don't like talking about race because they're fucking pussies.
And I was about to say, you're a racial realist.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna drop it on you. I'm gonna drop it on you right now. I don't think America's ready for an Asian president.
No, I agree. I agree.
We're not.
He's not going anywhere. It's not gonna happen.
It's not happening.
The reason why he's getting as such attention is because of that radical fucking idea that makes no sense, and he knows that. I think you're right. You hit it on the head where you said this guy is in business. He knows what's gonna get him buzz, and he knows that like he's riding this as a way for him to
his brand. He's branding himself.
Yeah. Right, exactly. So after this is over, he can still be relevant in some fucking way.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure
he's not. It's not about presidency for him. I don't believe it.
Honestly, I still look back, and there's people who've said this about Trump, is that Trump wasn't even trying to necessarily win the election.
Oh yeah, I don't think he was either.
I still believe that he wasn't initially either. That he was trying to stir things up, and it was the perfect storm. It was the perfect storm. It was the right timing of a bunch of shit and. Damn, Yang Gang.
Yang Gang. There's this guy. I have a friend who from high school who's like really into Yang, and at this point though, I'm kind of like, how, dude?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I had a friend of mine who was actually my roommate for a while, and he's actually a really smart guy. He's one of the smarter people I know. He studies psychology, and he, I don't know, does a bunch of stuff tech related. And I don't want to get into it because I don't want to either make him sound smarter than he is or dumber than he is. So I'm just going to drop it there. But he's really about Yang, and we were talking about it, and he was saying how it'd be good for the economy, all these different things, and I'm just like, maybe I'm cynical, but I just don't think this is a solution, brother. Like, this doesn't
make sense fundamentally.
Well, he's a smart enough guy where I look at it and I question him, like, am I just being cynical here? Am I just...
No.
You know? Because I like to be my own devil's advocate, too.
Well, you're not being cynical because it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
To take my money and give it back to me as opposed to just take less of my money.
Right.
If your goal is to get me to have more money in my pocket, why wouldn't you just take less of my money up front?
But we're forming an echo chamber here. We're forming an echo chamber here because of the way you answered my first question.
Wait, which one?
You believe in God over the state.
Well, no, yeah, but this has nothing to do with that.
No, I think it has everything to do with it.
Purely practical. No, this is a purely practical and pragmatic reasoning that has nothing to do with God. This is
okay, not necessarily God, not necessarily God.
Why don't you just not take as much money from me in the first place if your goal is for me to have more money in my pocket? That is more expeditious than having to process and take my taxes and then figure it out and then give it back to me. It makes no sense because you're ending up spending more money on that process than is even worth giving back to the American people.
Oh, for sure.
That makes no sense at all, no matter how you slice it. I have not heard a smart way of explaining this by anyone, by not one person.
Yeah.
Not even Yang.
No, not even Yang. Yeah, and the thing is, Yang talks more about what can be done versus what would be done. Because this hasn't really been done before, and he keeps riding on the laurels of, well, we've never tried it, so we might as well try it. It's like, we've tried things similar. Anytime you subsidize anything, you know, it's kind of a microcosm for testing it out. And
Right. But at the same time, then he'll do things like he'll say, well, Milton Friedman advocated for this, and it's like, no, he fucking didn't. And then it's like, Martin Luther King, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. No one did any of that. No one has ever thought it makes sense to take your money and then give it back to you in some weird fashion. I mean, even tax returns are fucking dumb.
Oh my God. Well,
you know what I'm saying?
One of my favorite memes I saw about tax doing your tax returns is it was something along the lines of it was like a conversation between like you and a chick, and it was like, hey, so how much you make in income this year? This much. Wait, we're gonna tax that. Okay. well, you didn't do the right amount. It's like, well, I thought that's how much I made. It's like, no, we know how much you made. Well, then how much I make? No, you got to figure that out. And if you don't get it right, we're going to take more out.
We're going to take you to jail.
Right. It's like, wait, what? Why am I even doing this tax return? If you know the amount, if you're just like having me figure it out, and if I get it wrong, why don't, like, if I'm against a lot of taxes, but if they're going to do it,
taxes suck.
Why do we have to get so involved? Quite frankly.
I fucking agree. Why do I have to do? If I'm already making the goddamn money, why am I involved in this? And that's again,
especially if you're taking it out automatically. If I see every transaction every time you're taking out the tax, why do I need to look into it? Like, I understand business owners; it's a whole other thing, and that's why you need to have an accountant. And blah 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 blah. Sure. But for a person on your own, if it's just strictly transactional and you having money, why does that need to be involved? Like, why does it need to be so involved? People, and I can only imagine certain people how they do their taxes. You know what I mean? I'm like, I do mine on my own, but I wonder where certain people go to do. Like, do you go to H&R Block? Like, what do you do? Like, how do you do your taxes?
I do TurboTax,
but you do your own.
Yeah, because I'm an individual and I only have one job.
I'm the same way. Yeah, I'm with you there. But
well, people always. I have friends that'll.
I mean, like the amount.
Oh, I have to do my taxes. Man, I'm like, dude, it's not that hard if you have one job.
But like, there's a lot of mouth breathers out there, man. You know, and those are the ones I'm wondering. Like, I know I figured out how to do my own tax, but there's some people I'm like, that person. Like, I'll go down the street and I'll see people being dumb. Like, that person had to do their taxes.
You literally just put numbers in boxes.
People can't figure it out, dude.
That's all you do.
Yeah.
Like, anybody who sees or has seen or whatever will see this, just put numbers in boxes. That's fucking all you gotta do. That's it.
That's it, man. But some people go and they say, we'll do your tax returns for free. Just bring them in. It's like, just do it yourself.
I'm gonna start charging people to do their tax returns.
I know people who've done that. I'm
gonna start doing it.
There's accountants who do it on the side.
I'm gonna do it. I don't need to be an accountant for that.
No, you don't need to be an accountant. No.
I'll fucking do it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't let you do my taxes, but because I would do it myself. But yeah, dude, taxes, abolish the Fed and taxes.
You see that Twitter video that's going around with the kid, and he's like crying because of Monopoly because his money went to taxes. You can like hear his brother playing, all right, let me build my houses, and the kid's fucking pissed. He's like, I
saw one of a father. Hilarious. I saw one of a father doing that.
Oh no, this kid is like crying, and he's like the it's like his mom or something, and she's like, so what happened to all your money? And he's like, taxes.
I didn't see that at all.
He's like, it's the worst part of the game. I don't like taxes. I'm like, dude, it's me.
That's I've never seen that. Kid, I'm gonna have to look that up. Or if you find it, post that. Give me a mention.
I'll retweet it after this. After we sign off.
That's hilarious. No, I haven't seen that at all. But that seems amazing. I saw a video of a kid and there's a dad and he's like, okay, and I'm gonna make money off this, and the kid was just like, I quit. It was a lot more. That kid seems to get it a little more.
Yeah. Well, this kid was like, he had just gotten taxed, and like his brother or some shit was just like raking in the dough.
Yeah, he's raking it in.
Building his fucking houses in front of him, you know what I mean? Like, you can hear the other kid being like, I'm gonna build hotels. I'm like, man, that's like for real, meta as fuck.
Yeah. I can't say I've played Monopoly in a long time.
I fucking love Monopoly. Let's get an online version and play that shit.
Oh shit. All right. See, I'd rather play Warhammer 2 or 3 Kingdoms Total War. That's my thing, man.
So board games,
Civilization board games.
I'm
all about that.
Terraform Mars.
Surviving Mars?
Terraform Mars.
Well,
look that one up, man. That's
the shit. Got here.
That's a fun game. I played it once.
Mars.
It's fun. I should buy it.
Oh, I typed that in and it just pulled up the Wikipedia page for Terraforming Mars. Even though it's kind of weird, we've never been there, but Terraforming Mars game.
There's motherfuckers up there right now, dude.
Oh, it's a board game. I thought you meant it was an online game.
Yeah, it's a board game.
Or is it both? I can't tell. It looks interesting though.
It's cool, man. It's what it sounds like. That's the goal.
That's sick. You own it?
No, I played it once at a buddy's house. like a couple years ago, and it just stuck with me. I got to get it.
Okay. Yeah. Any other board games you play? Because I got a couple I can name drop real quick, see if you know them.
Just chess.
Just chess? Have you heard of? Yeah. Well, I played recently Betrayal.
No, never heard of that one.
Here, let me actually. I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna transition my screen real quick. Betrayal is cool. It's called Betrayal at House on the Hill. So it's called.
Okay.
It came out. I'm pulling up 2004. But it's pretty cool because you play as a bunch of people going into a haunted house, and like you make the board by going into each door. It's almost like a Scooby-Doo episode.
Oh shit!
But the objectives change every time. So like every time you go in a room, an event happens, and like if it's an omen, everyone rolls to see what like if the haunt is gonna start. And so at a different turn every time, the haunt will start, and then that will tell people what is happening, because it's called Betrayal because everyone starts off working together, but like a certain person can get possessed by like a demon, and now they're the bad guy.
Oh, cool.
Or everyone needs to work together with the house. So every time you play the game,
I like that.
Every time you play the game is different.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah, it's really interesting. That's one game. Clank is another one I play, a deck builder.
Clank, okay.
Clank's really good. I played. If you played Coup, Coup's a quick card game.
No.
Coup.
Damn, you're like into these board games.
Well, man. I'm adjacent to a lot of people that are. I don't own any myself, but
okay. Oh, so you just play them a lot?
Yeah, I've played, and I've played them enough that I've had multiple different friends play these all the games I've mentioned. I've played with multiple different people.
Okay, I see.
So I've played some obscure ass games I've only played, you know what I mean? But these are the ones I've played multiple times, and I just recommend them. I don't know, Betrayal, Coup, Simple. I mean, really, I think it's all about having games that you can play with people who aren't into games.
Yeah, for sure. That's
why
I have Super Smash Brothers.
If I had
and Mario Kart.
if I had one game I could recommend to everyone, it's one that I tried. It's called Epic Wizard Battle. I got it pulled up on the screen right now.
Epic Wizard Battle.
Very, very simple game. Quick, but fun. Came out in 2012. The thing is, I like the artwork on it. It's a really goofy game.
Is it a card game?
Card game.
Because I can't see the screen.
I know you can't see the screen. All it is you pull up a bunch of cards, and you have 3. You have to play 3, and you have I forget there's like a source, there's like the spell, and then there's like an aftershock. And you don't have to play all 3, but you have to have a source and you have to have a delivery, and then you can add a Q quality. I haven't played it in a while, but I'm thinking about buying it. But the thing is, there's like different elements to each spell, so there's like some that are like fire and this and that. The thing is, the artwork on it's really sick too. It's kind of like an Adventure Time style cartoon art.
Mm-hmm.
But it's cool because it's a really simple game, but like the nuances to it are deep enough that like if you're into these games, you'll stay engaged. It's not completely boring, but also to like the people who are busy on their phones and not paying attention, they can keep up.
Okay.
You know,
got it.
To me, when you're trying to play a board game,
it's like an easy one to pick up and play.
Yeah, it crosses a bunch of lines. It's fast, which some people don't like to sit and play a game. Sometimes setup can take half an hour for some of the games I've played. This is a game you just whip out, deal, and go.
Got it.
So, I don't know. Didn't mean to go on such a tangent for games, but I just wanted to plug it, man, because I want more people to play it. So I want to be invited over places.
You gotta get those sponsors too. You know?
But speaking of that, I'm on my screen now. I'm pulling up your Facebook and your SoundCloud. This is your chance. What am I plugging? I have you on. I didn't really plug you at the beginning. Let's get a quick plug in for.
Yeah, man.
I got your SoundCloud up right now. I got your 3 tracks.
Yeah. So I got a couple of things, man. So Mr. Behavior is my solo music project. I make some rap songs, some kind of not so rap songs, electronic kind of sound and stuff. So that's that. You can find that stuff mostly on SoundCloud. I also play in a band called Vinyl Spectrum, which you can find on Spotify. We got that blue check mark on the Spotify, and we're like been featured in TV shows like Lucifer and things like that. We actually have a song coming out featuring Lil B very soon.
Vinyl Spectrum, Spotify. I'm searching for you right now.
Yeah, go ahead, search away. And then I'm also Chris Locs, so I got Locs Takes is my podcast, which
yes, sir.
Michael has been on, and we're gonna have you back on very soon. I won't have another episode up this next week, but the following week I will return with episode 40.
Dude, I'll go out of my way to make sure I can be on that show.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Sweet. I love having conversations with you, so we'll do that soon.
Dude, you didn't tell me about Vinyl Spectrum. This is definitely... Is this you? Are you on the...
It's in my Twitter bio, man. It's in my Twitter bio.
Oh, I'm such a bad friend.
It's all good.
Is that you on the left in the picture?
Yeah. That's me a couple years ago, yeah.
Yeah. And there's your 3 friends there? One of them's topless?
Yeah. So, that's Frank. Frank's the lead guitar player, Lance is the other white guy, and Dario is the other black dude in the picture.
That's cool.
But Dario's no longer with the band. R.I.P. No, he's still alive, but he's just not with the band anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that's my band. And then Locs Takes the podcast. Do some more. Mostly, I'm going more into like social commentary and less hard politics now.
Okay.
Which I actually like a little bit better. But
that's my focus as well. I'd like to politics. There's enough people talking about politics. I think social is something you can break down small things.
Right, exactly. And then I got my YouTube channel also, which is also Locs Takes. And my YouTube branch of that is all like it's mostly focused on gaming and nerd culture.
Okay.
And then Twitter at Real Mr. Behavior, or you can just search Hotep Khan. That's my Twitter handle.
All links are in the description. I've been meaning to say it. Links in the description, bro. Am I a YouTuber now?
I got a bunch of followers too. I got a bunch of followers today.
Well,
I think like something like 30 or 40 followers because I put up a video blasting Victor Blackwell
on YouTube.
On CNN. No, on Twitter.
Oh.
So earlier today I posted a Twitter video and it was because I was just pissed. I found out that Victor Blackwell was crying because of the comments.
Oh yeah, this is the guy who cried, right?
Dude, what a fucking loser. Are you serious? This guy has got us looking like little bitches, us black men looking like bitches because this guy said infested.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think this is the new Uncle Tom. They talk about Uncle Tom's being on the right.
Yeah, man.
This is an Uncle Tom on the left, bro.
Yeah, man.
This is like you said, it's a bad look for black men. And in that regard, I would do everything to steer clear of that gentleman right there, Victor Blackwell. I'll remember that name.
That man is a joke. I followed him on Twitter just because of the fucking joke he is.
Well, have you heard of, actually, there's another black guy, a pastor. I forget his name. I tweeted about him recently. I was wondering, no one mentioned it. Where's that? Talbert Swan. Have you heard of him?
No.
Bishop Talbert Swan. I actually muted him because, dude, this guy just hates on Trump 24/7.
Oh, yeah? Maybe I should follow him.
Yeah, dude. I'll be honest.
I like following anti-Trumpers on Twitter. I follow Sean King, bro.
I can't, like, I've done that before.
I have to. I have to because you know what? I have to be prepared for what the fuck these people are talking about. And to be honest, I have to be strong in my resolve. You know what I watched today? I watched... Rolled, what's the fuck that guy's name? God damn, Rolled Marcus or something like that.
Who?
He's damn. I cannot remember his name because he's such a weirdo, but he's like a left-wing Candace Owens, I guess. But he's like an old dude. He's been around for a minute.
Something Marcus?
Rolled, I think his name is.
Rolled
Marcus. Rolled. I think that's right.
ROALD?
Yeah. ROALD.
Nothing coming up.
Damn. Rolled something. Let me. I got it. I'm gonna look it up right now.
It's all good. I just figured, I got my screen up right now, so we're sharing it on the screen.
I'm gonna look it up, bro. I got my fucking Twitter, bro. Because you gotta figure out who you guys see who this guy is, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, we gotta know who Rolled is.
Rolled Martin. That's it.
Rolled Martin.
Roland S. Martin. That's it. I fucked up. Roland Martin.
Does he have a picture? No, that can't be it.
Roland S. Martin. It's like, yeah.
3,000 followers?
No, like 526,000 followers, bro.
Roland
S. Martin.
I'm searching.
One word, all one word.
Oh, all one word.
Roland S. Martin. You gotta find this guy.
Oh, okay, got it.
So, dude, he had this fucking black conservative guy on R.C. Maxwell, who actually is why I started getting followers today, because he retweeted my video, and that's because So Roland had this guy on his fucking show, and he's like got it with two other black women, liberal black women, obviously, right? Which are fucking annoying. But anyway, he's got these liberal black women on with him, and they basically are talking to him about Baltimore, and they're not letting this guy talk. They're talking over him, and they're not paying attention to the fallacies in their own statements. So, for example, R.C. Maxwell says, yo, this guy's talking about some real problems that they have in Baltimore. This guy, Trump, he's talking about this real shit, and it's not a joke. Like, there actually is problems in Baltimore with infrastructure. And so Roland thinks that he's got him with a gotcha, and he says, well, what do you say about the fact that Jared Kushner has a rat-infested apartment building that he owns in Baltimore? And then R.C. Maxwell's like, well, that's not how the city planning works. Like, even if Jared Kushner cleaned up his building, the city still has problems. So that's a structural problem with city planning that has nothing to do with Jared Kushner owning the building.
Dude, gotcha tactics just don't work for anybody, man.
Well, it's not even that, because the thing is that for these black women and Roland Martin, that was enough for them to ridicule the black conservative, even though the black conservative was actually making sense. And
right.
These people just go, but you didn't answer the question. But what about, why doesn't he just clean up, ha ha ha? Why doesn't he clean it up? Ha ha, you dumb. And it's like, yo, if this is what passes for intellectual conversation in the black community, we have some fucking problems, bro.
Yeah, no, that's the big... I feel like a lot of times in those conversations, someone's always appealing to the masses and not the conversation.
Exactly. And Roland is not stupid, and I know that he fucking was doing that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about these other women, but like, because they're just kind of like whatever, parroting whatever the fucking shit is, but like this, like they're straight up not even being honest and not being real about the fact that, look, that doesn't have anything to do with the equation.
Well, I don't think I think season 1 is officially no longer family friendly.
Oh, sorry.
I was just thinking about it because well, it's funny. Yesterday's podcast, like I said, there's an issue with the beginning snippet. You know what the first word said on the podcast was until I snipped it?
Fuck.
God fucking damn it.
I mean, I'm from New Jersey, man. I can't not curse. It's hard.
Actually, it's funny. There was a study that said people from Ohio are some of the most vulgar people in the country.
There was another one that said that people that curse are more honest than people who don't.
Fucking A, man. Fucking A. That's all I gotta...
I mean, I think I gotta learn how to do that so that when I start going on like Ben Shapiro and stuff, I just won't do it.
Oh, to learn to tone it down?
Yeah. I mean, I probably can. I just like, it's YouTube.
Dude, I Ben Shapiro, I have no respect for. I wouldn't, if he invited me to be on the show, I would personally go to the show to pee on his hand.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. I don't agree with him on everything, but I would go on his show. I like some of the things that he thinks in terms of like the role of religion and things like that. I agree with him on that stuff for sure.
I'm gonna stop there.
What do you not agree with him on?
Did you listen to his Rogan?
Recently?
Yeah.
He went on Rogan again?
Within the last year.
I don't know if I heard all of it.
Joe Rogan asked him about what his thoughts on Jesus Christ were.
Oh, what did he say?
I don't
remember.
Check it out. I don't want to steer you in a certain direction.
Does he say fuck Jesus or something? He's like, Moses is the savior?
No, man. He said Jesus was just another rebel in the Roman Empire. Just another dude.
I mean, I don't know if I disagree with that.
And he said he got what he deserved.
He got what he deserved? What?
He didn't say it like that. I forget. He's like, well, you know, he wasn't obeying the laws. Promo code Shapiro. You know.
He wasn't obeying. Wait, he said that?
Yeah. Well, I'm paraphrasing because it's been months since I watched it.
Shapiro is a statist on everything except for marriage.
Yeah.
Much.
My biggest thing is Shapiro's promo code culture, and he's just not the kind of guy I want for a leader. Like,
I mean, I didn't say that I wanted him for a leader. There was a time where I really liked him.
Yeah, no, right? Me too. I thought he was very useful.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
In the way I look at it is like Shapiro is the one like holding down like a part of conservatism that like people who don't know what conservatism are, like he's constantly like on the fighting edge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I think that. Well, so here's the thing. My thing with him is that I don't really listen to him as much anymore. I used to listen to him like every day at one point, right? And I've kind of come into my own with like my understanding of like conservatism, libertarianism, leftism, all of those things, right? And he was a useful kind of tool in pulling me out of the matrix in some ways.
Oh yeah,
because the main reason is the only thing that I heard about him when I didn't really know what he actually thought was that he was a white supremacist and a racist.
You thought that?
That's what I've heard heard about him, right? And I was like, I heard this name before. Like, isn't that the guy that people think are really racist? And I saw him on Dave Rubin one time back when I fucked with Dave Rubin. And I listened to him talk, and I was like, I actually don't disagree with a lot of the things that this guy said. And also, I don't hear anything racist.
Yeah,
So I started being like, okay, I like him. And he was a useful tool in pulling me out. I don't think I really need him as much anymore, Right. But it's still interesting to know what he thinks.
Well, I'll put it this way. My biggest beef with Shapiro is like the whole Jesus thing is like, I just don't like his model. I think he's just selling out way too hard.
You think so?
Dude, yeah.
I mean, like, he owns his own business, though, so it's like, see, now you got me defending Ben Shapiro. So, like, I think he's doing a business, man. I mean, it's the same thing Alex Jones does, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not going to be mad at the guy for having a business.
But, okay, when's the last time you watched one of Shapiro's YouTube videos in full length?
Oh, God, I don't know. Months ago.
Here's the thing, is like, Alex Jones, like, when I watch him, I actually don't mind his plugs. Alpha Brain is Joe Rogan. I forget, but I forget all his things. But he's like, you become a better male. You can make sure you're good. You can make sure you're awesome.
Yeah, that's all Alex Jones' stuff too.
I love that.
InfoWarsStore.com. You need your alpha male vitality.
We will bring you back to the spirit of 1776. It will be amazing. Like, if that's the advertising I'm gonna get, I'd rather have that than. We'll get you with a 12,000 sheet thread count. It's gonna be the best, and buy your gold. I'm like, dude.
I listen to all types of podcasts, and every podcast has sponsors, and they all have some of the same sponsors that sponsor Shapiro, sponsor Joe Rogan, and they sponsor a bunch. They sponsor Pod Save America too. They sponsor a bunch of things. I'm not mad at the guy for having sponsors and having a business. I don't think I personally.
No, it's not that. It's. I'm getting too nuanced. I'm getting too nitpicky here.
Yeah.
It's I don't like his delivery. It's like the way when he's trying to sell me, I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want that at all.
Yeah. Get out of here. So here's the thing. I grew up in New Jersey around a lot of whiny Jewish kids that sound like him.
I did.
So I am used to that kind
whiny and Jewish makes me like.
So here's the. I used to be really close friends with a guy who sounds exactly like him, but he's a left-wing version.
Oh God.
Right? And so I'm used to whiny Jewish guys.
Okay.
That sound like that.
See, you've already
easy for me to palate his message because I get where he's coming from.
Oh, okay. See, it's like unfamiliar to me. I'm still like fear of the unknown there. I'm just like I don't know. I'm that person poking it with a stick still. Like what is this?
Yeah, I mean, and there was a time, I know a lot about Judaism too. So like, when he talks about the religious stuff, I understand that also. You know what I mean?
Well, I honestly, to get into Judaism, because I know I took shots at them earlier, I think Judaism in general is one of the most fragmented religions on the planet.
I agree.
I think that the at its purest form, like from what I've read of the Kabbalah, it's really cool. And then when you get into Talmud, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of different branches. You got the conservative Jews, you got your Orthodox Jews, you got your Reformed Jews, which are not really Jews in my opinion. You got like a bunch of like Hasids. You got like Well,
as soon as the Jews start talking about Goyim and what you can and can't do to the Goyim, but you can't do to Jews, that's when I'm like, that's not very godlike to me.
Yeah, I'll agree.
When they call themselves the chosen people, I'm like. Bro.
Everybody knows black people are the chosen people.
Yeah, no, I get that. Well, that's the thing is I'm hedging my bet because I'm like half Latino, half white.
Yeah.
That's why I want to make sure I can drop hard ends with an R at the end before you guys take over. You know.
Oh shit.
You know, as long as I can.
Be like Nick at the Italian club.
Okay, well, what's Nick do?
The guy who said he wants a guy to do blackface and
that was Nick. That was Nick. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, that was.
When he said that, I know he was saying nigger just to test my resolve there.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't know if that's a good idea, man. I'm not gonna be mad that you said nigger.
But
first of all, you didn't call me that, and even if he did, I would be like, all right, wife. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna go over here. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? But.
Yeah,
anyway.
I don't know. Actually, this is funny. I'm curious if you think it's true. I don't think I've ever said it out loud. I know I at least I think I've made it with a black friend of mine when he accidentally calls me nigga.
Accidentally.
Yeah, or just when it slips up. You know, when it just slips up naturally. You know.
I call everybody. Like, I call
nigga what? I'm like, oh okay,
all the time, dude.
Oh, well, that's the thing is, it's like, but here's the thing is, these same friends of mine, I've heard them not say it to other friends who are, how do I say this? They don't pick up on the social dynamics well.
Yeah.
They purposely won't use the same term, you know, as a term of endearment. Like, obviously, you know, I wasn't going to try to break down the use of nigga versus nigger, but that's really what it comes down to is like nigga. Like, I mean, I listen to J. Cole, he's one of my favorite artists, and I can't play him for certain people because when he refers to people, he says my niggas every time.
I mean, you can, you can just be prepared for the backlash. Look, man, I have a friend from fucking high school who, I mean, he's been like probably my closest friend for a long time. We had a falling out for a little bit. We're reconnected now.
Yeah.
And he lives with my brother and stuff. You know what I mean? Like we're still real close.
Yeah.
That dude says nigga all the time. He's a white kid. He's been saying nigga around me since we were like 15.
There you go.
You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? It's whatever. Like, I'll call him nigga right back. You know what I mean?
I'm in a unique circumstance.
You know what I mean? Like, we fucking around with each other. The funny thing is like he came out here too to visit me, and we're talking about this stuff because people are so fucking sensitive now. And if people heard him talking about that, they'd probably get on him. It's like, look, we're from the East Coast, man. Racism is funny until it's not. That's how it works.
That's fair. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's funny until it's not funny.
And then we move on.
With each other all the time.
We call it around, then we move on. Because you gotta test shit out. You gotta test shit out.
Yeah, people gotta be so like, and people are just so fucking sensitive about this shit, dude. It's like, God, man, I fucking.
Here's one thing I want to share with you about my perspective. Is I grew up in, like, actually the city I'm in now. I was the racial diversity and one other kid in the class I grew up with. It was me and an Asian kid. Everyone else was white. So, like, for me, I never had a fear of the unknown. I never thought black people were out to get me or anything like that. But there's some people I think they're still genuinely scared of black people. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I've gone out and, like, I've, like, looked out and I'm like, look, there's nothing to fear. There's no boogeyman. People are like, oh, you know, whatever. It's like, you need to get out there and culture yourself. It's not just...
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I don't blame those people, though, man.
I get it.
It's like, if you're ignorant, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if you're ignorant, remain ignorant. Yeah.
You know, and that's fine, man. I'm not fucking with those people.
But that's the concept of being red pill, and that's something you and I both agreed on. It's like, I want to know what the reality situation is.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't even mind making an ass of myself along the way, because there have been some black people I've made some jokes, and they've been duds. They did not want to stay friends with me before. You know what I mean? Fine. And I think that's the thing is just to bring it back to what you said about your lesson, the fear of failure. It's like people are afraid of making good joke when there might be race involved. Because my father's a teacher, right? And he's like, I try to be funny, but he's got to throw out the racial jokes, the sexual jokes, the sexist jokes. He's like, at the end of the day, I got to keep things so G-rated. And the thing is, especially now, he can't even be edgy anymore.
Yeah.
Because people are so touchy. As a teacher, he can't afford. And they're like, oh, you got the cringiest dad jokes. He's like, because if I made any of the ones that actually make you laugh, your parents would be calling me up the next day.
Yeah.
You know?
It's too bad.
It's so backwards, because actually my dad's a really funny guy. But he can't say what's on his mind because there's an off chance someone would get offended.
Yeah.
And we're in a lawsuit culture where the lawyers don't even care what's right anymore. They're just like, we might have a case here.
It's true.
People lawyer up so fast, and truth is not done. That's the big thing. But man, it's been a hell of a journey. But actually, I got to get up in the morning myself as well.
All right, man. Well, let's do it. Let's wrap it up there.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Glad to have you on. We did the
plugs, and then we talked for like another 20 minutes.
Oh no, that it's. I mean, I think when I did Mac's podcast with Kenzie Puff, dude, I think we said we were gonna wrap up like 5 times, and it was like an hour longer than we actually.
Well, you're a very engaging dude, man. You're good at continuing the conversation and keeping it moving. So this is good.
That's what I like to do, and I mean, we got 3 people on right now, so I just want to make shout out to the audience.
Hello, audience.
Yeah, I mean, we're ending the live stream now, but if you are, this is the end of the video. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment, because I want to get a conversation going so that it's not the same stuff. If you feel that Mr. Hotep Khan or I have said anything that inflames you in any way, let me know. And
I want to know too.
Yeah, we both want to know. We want to know to talk about it. Because actually, to go back to my pinned tweet, always seek to understand your opponent's argument better than they do. You will either correct yourself accordingly or learn to better defend your stance. And that's what I'm out here doing. I'm trying to see where I'm wrong, or at least learn how to beat you better.
Yeah, same.
So
we're on that journey together, bruh.
That's it. On that note, peace out, everybody. Looking forward to tomorrow at 3 o'clock.